As of the time of this recording, I've ran over a dozen plus sessions with over a dozen plus players in my West Marches campaign that is free to the public and for you. Let's talk about that. So in June, I started posting up in my Discord and on my YouTube little snippets here and there about a West Marches that I'm going to run. And then eventually I pulled the trigger, and on July 8th, I started running the first session of this campaign. So what is this campaign all about? Well, it starts off with your character walking down the road, doing their everyday life, everyday thing, whatever it is that they were doing, all of a sudden getting teleported to the bottom of a mega dungeon, where they now find themselves amongst a whole bunch of other people who are in the same predicament. You're not the first people that have been teleported down here, and you are not the last. The home base for this campaign is a settlement called Little Hope, which is presumably at the bottom of this grand dungeon, and all of the adventurers that are plucky enough to want to go out there and secure some safety and power are the ones going out there to adventure. So now a bunch of adventurers are exploring around this great dungeon, massive in scope and scale, and are uncovering a whole bunch of little dungeons throughout, encountering factions, encountering monsters, cults, whatever the case may be. They are encountering a bunch of things, and they're traversing forward, getting stronger, getting richer, and they're all doing this with a central goal. That is to escape the dungeon. And right there, that is a very powerful tool for this campaign, that they have a centralized goal. What also really helps for this campaign is its sandbox design. I am not running a West Marches game where it's, hey, you show up to this session, when you go to this session, you are going on this adventure. No. What it is I'm simply posting up session times, and when the players show up, they decide where they want to go, they decide what they want to do, and that really helps give the players the agency. And from what I've heard from all my players is that they're totally digging that they have the decisions, they have the choices, they have the autonomy to do what they want to do. And so far, they've been tackling a few different dungeons. They've explored around a little bit. And, sometimes they're having a good time. Not all the time. Every once in a while, a PC may or may not get hurt or kidnapped by cult but other than that, they're having a great time. So this world is new to them, and it's evolving. As my players are exploring around this area, they're encountering different creatures, they're encountering different things, and they're learning more about the world, and that sense of exploration is really helping with that sense of drive. They don't know what they're up against. They're going into weird, wacky dungeons. They're up against these cults and monsters, and they want to explore around the area. And right there, that sense of new is really good. I debated on if I was going to run this in sort of a pre-established sort of area, settlement, because then immediately a bunch of people would know, oh, hey, I know where this is, I know what that is, I know da-da-da, this and that. But I ultimately went with the idea of this is entirely new to everybody. So as mentioned before, with this is everyone has that shared goal. Ultimately, the idea of this campaign is that you want to win the campaign. And how do you win this campaign? By escaping from this dungeon and returning back to the, presumably outside, and presumably back to civilization. So not only does this unite the characters, but also very importantly, it unites the players. Many of these players have not ever interacted with each other before. Many of them have not gamed with each other before. Many of them have not played in my kind of game before. Many of them have not actually ran under me. I've ran a bunch of public games throughout the years, and I will continue to do so. But that sense of driving a clear way to get people to unite that have never played before is awesome. Once again, it just leads into that autonomy. I love how all these people are showing up and they are creating their own sense of drive and sense of purpose and sense of unity in this campaign. Now, something very important about this campaign is I am not a DM. I am not a dungeon master. I am a referee. If there is any sort of engagement at hand, I'm rolling dice to determine everything that there is. When they're exploring around, I'm rolling dice to determine everything there is. Everything is either set in stone or I roll for it. I am merely just the arbiter of the rules. Now, the important thing behind that is every single thing my players earn, whether that be gold, XP, glory, monster slain, magic items, whatever, they truly earned it. And I know for a fact they earned it, and more importantly, my players know they earned it. And that sense of earning something, not being given something, is incredibly important. Now, the flip side of that, unfortunately, is whenever they lose something, whether that be a character, magical item, whatever, they also earned that in a sense as well. Because I'm not purposely taking things away from them, I'm not giving them things. The things are simply there, and whether they have good tactics and good dice rolls, bad tactics or bad dice rolls, certain things are going to play out. Now, for these sessions, I've had anywhere between 2 to 7 players in any given one, and every time they typically have a retainer or 2 in their pocket. And I'm remembering one session was just 2 players went off on their own merry adventure and got a bejesus ton of gold, and it was epic. And then, unfortunately, in the next session or 2, they got kidnapped. But, that is how the dice sway, and I totally dig that. Once again, my players know what they're in for, they know what they're getting into, and it is what it is. So something that really is awesome about running this campaign is it's really helping me shape up the kind of adventures I want to run, the adventures I want to write, and also the game mechanics therein. I'm really looking into all of the little game mechanics here and there and everywhere, and I'm tweaking things to my liking. I'm adjusting dials here and there, and also very importantly is I'm adding items and features that play into those things. For example, I've added a feat that lets you, if you're holding a crossbow at the beginning of combat, you get a free shot off right then and there. One of the players has picked up a sword, which if they're high in initiative, it gives them a +2 attack and damage, but if they're low in initiative, it gives them a +1 to AC instead. And beyond just the character options from your individual class, there's also guild options. All of these characters are joining guilds, and these guilds have their own prerogatives, they have their own goals, and also they give their own benefits. Those guilds give you stat ups, but at the same time, they also give you some other awesome things later down the line as you progress through that guild. And this is awesome because we're seeing multiple different classes going to the same guilds, and we're seeing a healthy variety therein, and I'm totally digging it. So like I said, there's been already over a dozen sessions, and there's going to be dozens more to come later down the line. I'm going to be continuously posting them. But people, if you haven't joined my Discord already, join it. Join these games. I would love to have a whole bunch of people joining these games. This would be fantastic. The best part about West Marches games is the lack of commitment, as it were, right? The fact that you can show up and, hey, if you got the free time, show up for that session. Maybe you only get to play once in a blue moon, but hey, that's something. I know for a fact that a lot of viewers of this channel are DMs, and so if you want to get to play a game every once in a while, that's great. You get to be part of that community. As an individual, you can be part of a grand scheme. You can help out the party, you can help out the guilds, you can help out all the other players at hand. You can contribute to the cause, and it'll be a great time. So join that Discord, link down below. I am really looking forward to seeing more and more people showing up to this campaign because I'm having a blast. Everyone's having a great time. People keep on showing up, so that tells me something, right? If they didn't like it, they wouldn't keep showing up. So tell me, have you ever played or ran a West Marches game? Are you a forever DM that's looking to be a player every once in a while? Tell me all about it down below. Join the Discord, join up for these games. I'll be posting updates about the campaign here and there and everywhere, but I don't want to reveal too many spoilers for this campaign. I think a lot of the greatness from this campaign is experiencing things firsthand or even secondhand from the other players, because I, as a GM, have a different purview of the things going on, so it's great when you can hear from the other players. So, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you to my wonderful patrons. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, joining that Discord, all that fun jazz. And I cannot wait to see you next time.